14. Coming up next hour is Basics Home Shopping Show. You'll see the best buys on computers, electronics, appliances, furniture, and much, much more. Plus some talk with some interesting people. You'll also have a chance to win some great prizes from right there in your living room. From time to time, we're going to feature some local entertainers just to spice things up a little bit. Entertainment, prizes, and some talk, and a great place to shop. Sound unusual? It is. Basics Home Shopping Show coming up next on Fox 14.
Basics Home Shopping Show. Basics Home Shopping Show is 1 hour of fun. You never know what to expect. Excitement. Interviews. Entertainment. And product information. Call one of our representatives now at 1-800-388-2411. They'll answer any question you have and take your order for any product seen on today's program. Stay tuned for the featured products on Basics Home Shopping Show.
Welcome to Basics Home Shopping Show. Folks, we've got a fabulous show for you tonight. We've got special guests. We've got great products we're going to be showing you at absolute fantastic prices. Roger, what are you going to be showing us tonight?
Oh, I'm so excited, Steve. I got a washer and dryer I'd like to show tonight.
And you know, Roger, it's our first time on Prime Time. I neglected to mention that. We did 30 shows on Saturday and Sunday, and they finally allowed us to get on Prime Time after watching us for about 30 solid hours. Wayne, what you got for us tonight?
We have got something brand new. Computers at Basic. We'll be telling you all about that. We've also got Stan all the way down from Baxter to talk about those satellite systems. And we want to let you know about that Check It Out sweepstakes. If you sent your check in, that's right here on this Basics Home Shopping Show ad, then you'll be one of the lucky people tonight that'll have a prize drawn out. Also, everybody can play because we'll be using the last 4 digits of a Social Security number. So this hour is packed. Don't go away. Chances to win for everybody, computers, satellites, and some other items I know they'll want to hear about.
Wayne, you're telling me all we need to do is have a Social Security card to play our game at home?
That's it.
Now, hey, that makes everybody have a chance to win.
That's right.
Super. I'm proud to hear about that, and I have got some special guests and some great musical talent on tonight's show that it's just going to blow people away.
It's a whole new show. They don't know what they've been
Absolutely. We've got about a half hour of entertainment and a half hour of sales and entertainment. You know, our selling's entertaining too.
Yeah, especially with Roger Lawrence around.
You guys flipped it too fast there. I want to say something, okay? I want to introduce a new microwave tonight. If there's anybody out there in the market for a microwave, they're looking to replace an old microwave, we have the new VIP Crisp Wave microwave by Whirlpool. It bakes, it grills, and it fries. You can bake cookies, you can bake cornbread, you can fry chicken in it. I mean, it's the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen. I took one home. I can use it. It's so simple to use. Anything and everything that I eat at my house, I can cook in that microwave.
Microwave that fries.
Microwave that fries.
Very interesting.
You can bake biscuits in it, bake cornbread. It's phenomenal.
That's amazing.
A lot in store tonight, isn't it?
I'm telling you, this is going to be a very exciting show. We'll be back in just a moment with more. You're shopping at home with Basic. This area's full-service, low-cost connection to the best values in home appliances, electronics, computers, and home furnishings. To place your order, simply call toll-free 1-800-388-2411. Our helpful people will take your order and schedule delivery.
Basic, your best buy. May I take your order, please?
You may use Basic Charge, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express. You may also pay at time of delivery with your personal check. Call now.
Time at Basic Basics Home Shopping Show. And if you have a Social Security number, you will have a chance to win just like those that sent in the basic check out of the KARD flyer that came out this week. Now, I want to tell you first about this Uniden cordless telephone. It's the CT301, and it's only $39. Call us at 1-800-388-2411 or locally at 388-2411. Stop by any of the basic locations to take advantage of the $39 Uniden CT301 cordless telephone, and it has the number redial, auto talk, a flash key, digital coding, and a rubber antenna. Only $39 at basic. It's the Uniden CT301. Now let's talk about how you can win a CT301. First, we're going to draw from the hundreds of checks we got in from the KARD flyer, and the first name is Freddie Gaddis, 1007 Powell in Monroe. Freddie Gaddis, you've won a cordless phone by Uniden. Now, if you have a Social Security card, get those numbers ready. The last 4 digits we're drawing out of this bin. The last 4 digits, the first number is a 2. The first number, a 2. Let's draw for the second number. So we're looking for the last 4 digits of a Social Security number. The first number is a 2. The second number is a 4. So it's 24. Let's see what that third number is. Get those Social Security cards right now. 246. 246. And we have one more number to go as we put all the balls back in the bin. We cut it on for the final time of this segment. Now, we'll be doing this later on in the show, so you stick around. The last number is a 7. So if that's your Social Security number, the last 4 digits, you're a winner of a Uniden cordless telephone.
Our first guest on tonight's show is Mr. Hoss Logan, and I know many of you folks have heard of Hoss. Hoss, it is a pleasure to have you on our show.
Nice to be here.
You know, Hoss, this is our first primetime show, and I couldn't think of anybody in the world I'd have rather had on the first show.
Well, that's very flattering. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure to have you. Have a seat, Hoss. Would you care for a cup of coffee?
Sure would.
Let me pour you a little bit. I think I'll have a swallow myself.
Yes.
You know, a lot of folks don't know it, and then there's a bunch that do, but Mr. Hoss Logan is really a local treasure, and we're very, very pleased to have Hoss on the show. Hoss was the organizer and the producer of the famous Louisiana Hayride, and Hoss was instrumental in the careers of people like Hank Williams, Elvis Presley, Jim Reeves, Kitty Wells, and many, many more. Hoss, a little later on the show, we're going to introduce a local talent, Mr. Shelby Criel. And he's going to do a couple of numbers for us. And maybe you can help us and the audience to critique him and maybe give him a little advice on how to break into the country music.
I'll do my best.
But I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to talk a little bit about the Louisiana Hayride. The Louisiana Hayride, I think, is not only known in Louisiana and the United States, but it is world-renowned. There are many of the most famous stars in the world came from the Louisiana Hayride.
Most of them.
For example, Elvis Presley. Jim Reeves. Jim Reeves was always one of my favorites, as I told you earlier in the show. But tell us a little bit about how the Hayride got started. Now, you started this thing. What gave you the idea?
Well, it wasn't innovative. There had been shows like that, the Grand Ole Opry and WLS Barn Dance and others. Before World War II and after, many of the radio stations, the big ones, had live country music acts on from their studios every morning.
Yeah.
And they would go out at night, 50, 75, 100 miles, make a personal appearance, come back, be on live the next morning. KWKH had them, so we had a cadre, a nice nucleus for a great Saturday night show. The only question was convincing the acts that they'd get more out of it in the long run to work such a show. So around 1936, KWKH started a Saturday night show called the Saturday Night Roundup.
That preceded the Louisiana Hayride,
Yes,
I guess, didn't
but it was in the same building,
Same building, okay.
Same type show. And then after we closed it down to start World War II because most of the guys, including me, went into the service. And then when I went back to the station, returning from the Army, we started the show again in 1948. And with the for it, I decided to give it a name that would denote our state and named it the Louisiana Hayride. Well, that too was not innovative because there was a book by Harriet Kane about Huey Long called the Louisiana Hayride. There was a Broadway production called the Louisiana Hayride, even a song, the Louisiana Hayride. But it did name the state, and it was certainly country music. So we started it in April of 1948.
Hoss, do you remember who some of your first guests were?
Sure, Kitty Wells, Johnny and Jack, and Tex Grimsley, and Harvey Smith, and the ones that were on the station at that time with their daily program.
Well, I guess at that time, people like Kitty Wells really weren't known at all.
No, they were not known. Regionally, but not nationally.
Yeah.
Right.
Hoss, who do you, if you had to pick the greatest talent that's ever been on the Louisiana Hayride, who would that individual be?
Well, you'd have to narrow it down to two different categories.
Okay.
Elvis Presley doesn't fall in any known category. He's a category of his own. And he was an incredible talent, a natural talent. But personally, I would have to say Hank Williams.
Hank Williams.
Right.
Why Hank, Hoss?
Why? Because he wrote his songs. Hank wrote all those great, gorgeous songs that you've heard except one. He didn't write Lovesick Blues. That was another Williams that wrote that. But very few artists can write their own songs and sing their own songs and make hits out of them.
A lot more money in it, Hoss, when you can write your own and sing them
Oh,
too.
much more. Now, few people can do that. Dolly Parton has done that. Willie Nelson has done that. Hank Williams has done that, but not too many other people.
Was there any particular person that you had on the Hayride that you felt like should have made it but didn't?
All of them that didn't make it. The Hayride, everybody on the Hayride was good. They had to be good to get on it. And the show was made, constructed, put together in such a manner that the artist was forced to do his absolute dead level best every Saturday night. We didn't put somebody on for 30 minutes and say, you're a star and you're out here for 30 minutes. We put Hank Williams out there to do 2 numbers. And if he didn't encore, he did 2 numbers. He came back 2 hours later and did 2 more. He had to encore to reestablish his eminence every Saturday night.
So you mean if Hank sang a couple of songs and the people didn't like them, Hank might not have came back on the show? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he wouldn't have been back until 2 hours later, that's for sure.
Hoss, you brought some pictures with us to take a look at. Let's talk a little bit about those pictures.
All right.
I think one was of Kitty Wells,
right,
when she was a very young lady.
Right.
And one you said you brought of Elvis Presley that has never been published.
No, it never has. It's a picture of Elvis. He was actually holding up one of my old 45 coats, and he's looking at it, and I'm kind of sneering off on the side and so forth. But to get back to Kitty Wells, she was the first really big female country music artist.
Hoss, let me ask you a question. Jim Reeves was a very, very popular singer. My mother thought Jim Reeves was about the best that ever was. What happened in this plane crash thing with Jim Reeves? Where was he going?
He had leased a twin-engine Beach and had come over to Arkansas to look at some property from the air. Had his piano player, Dean Manuel, with him. And they flew back to Nashville into some fog and crashed into the side of the mountain there at Nashville. Is what it amounts to. They just flew into the fog.
And Hoss, he was originally from Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hoss, there's so many people that were on the Louisiana Hayride that started their career. For example, another country music singer that was real great, that was lost, was Johnny Horton. Tell us a little bit about Johnny.
Oh, Johnny was a very close friend of mine. Delightful person, the singing fisherman. He might not make it to a show date because he saw a nice lake to fish in. He'd stop and fish and might be late if he got there at all.
You got to be kidding.
No, I'm not kidding either. He had no problem with alcohol or drugs or anything like that. His problem was fishing.
He just loved to fish.
Just loved to fish.
Hoss, it's absolutely fascinating. Folks, we're going to be back with Hoss Logan in just a few minutes. Right now, we're fixing to go to Wayne Gentry and Galen, and they're going to show us a couple of fantastic buys in computer systems. If you've been looking for a computer system and you want to buy it at the right price, stay tuned.
I'm excited. A new portion of Basics Shopping at Home show. It's computers, and I have with me the manager of the computer department. It's Galen Westbrook. Galen, it's so good to have you on here. A special guest with some special features tonight.
Thank you, Wayne.
Tell us a little bit about the computer department here at Basic.
Well, Wayne, here at Basic, we have a full-line, full-service computer department. By that I mean, if you come in looking for a ribbon or a cable or a part or a full-line Pentium system, we're going to have it.
Now that's important to people that buy computers because it's so frustrating to buy a printer and then not be able to find a ribbon for the printer.
That's correct. If we don't have it at Basic, that's going to be the exception, not the rule.
Now, one of the main concerns of the computer department here at Basic is configuring a system and servicing the system right here in the store. Now that's real important.
Coming up now is Shelby Criel, Monroe's own, singing a song he recorded in Nashville called I Caught On.
She's even packed up her things that she don't use anymore.
away some more great gifts right here on Basics Home Shopping Show. So if you sent that basic check in, you could be a winner. Or if you have a social security number, the last 4 digits could make you a winner. But first, let me tell you about the Gemini Caller ID. You can identify the caller before you answer your telephone. Now, for only $59, this one holds up to 50 calls in memory. It has the name, the number, the date, and the time. It has Spanish or English message selection, and it installs in seconds. It's the Gemini Caller ID for only $59. Call 388-2411 locally or 1-800-388-2411 or stop by any of the basic locations and pick up your Gemini Caller ID for only $59. Right now, let's go to our checks that we've gotten in. We've gotten several hundred of these in. Let's see who the winner is. We'll shake it up real good here, and we'll pick out a name. Irma J. Whitmore, 60 Haynes Bastrop, Louisiana. So it's 601 Haynes in Bastrop, Louisiana. Irma J. Whitmore, you've just won a Gemini Caller ID. Check your social security number. It's the last 4 digits. We'll get the first digit right now. The first digit is an 8. 8 is the first digit. If it's the last 4 digits of your social security number, our first number was an 8. The second number will be a 4. 4 is the next number. 8, 4 are the numbers that we have right here. The last 4 digits of your social security number, 842. 842, and the last number, 842 so far. Check your social security number. 8424. 8424 is the winner of the Gemini Caller ID. Stick around. Basics Home Shopping Show continues.
Well, we just had 2 lucky winners on those caller IDs. You know you're going to enjoy that caller ID. It lets you know who's calling before you pick up the phone. We're fixing to go next to Roger Lawrence. Roger's been in Australia for 2 weeks. I know he's glad to be back. Roger, take it away.
Good day, mates. Boy, it's good to be with you. I want to show you something that's just fantastic. I've been so excited about showing this new crisp wave, I could hardly wait for my time. It seemed like forever before I could finally get on camera to show you something. You know, when a salesman has something that's new and different, he gets excited. Well, I'm showing today, or before I get into my laundry, but a new crisp wave microwave by Whirlpool. Folks, you can grill in this microwave, you can bake, and you can fry. Just to save time, I baked some biscuits before the show started, but I want to show you. Folks, these biscuits are fantastic. I mean, they're brown on both sides. Well, I dropped the pan. But as you can see, they're brown on both sides. It's just a phenomenal new product just out on the market in America. It came out in Europe a couple of years ago. The first year it was out, it captured over 5% of the market. So it's been a tremendous response to the new crisp wave by Whirlpool, and I'll show you that in the next segment. But before I get started with that, I want to go and show you the laundry, washers and dryers. I love to do washers and dryers. This is an outdoorsy part of the world, you know, around here. People get outside, they get dirty, they want to get those clothes clean. When they come in, I ask the ladies, well, why are you buying a washing machine? Well, it's because mine broke. No, it's not because your washer broke. It's because you want to get your clothes clean. Well, I want to feature a pair today by Whirlpool, manufactured by GE with the Whirlpool label. But let me just stop and say right now that we have laundry, washers starting at $239, dryers starting at $198, depending on whatever features you want. So you go ahead and call those orders in at 1-800-388-2411, locally at 388-2411, or you can stop by the store. For example, back on the microwave, we have working demonstrations in the store. We can show you how to use that microwave. You come in, we can show you how to use these washers. But the model number of the washer is a WRW 4400S, manufactured by our...
Shelby's fixing to do our second song for us. The name of the song is The Devil Danced in Empty Pockets. Shelby, let's do that song in tribute to April 15. Sounds like a good song to me.
Motors had a hell of a sale downtown yesterday. Word got around, no money down, take years and years to pay. When I got there, the lot was bare. Salesman said, hold on, for a little cash, you got a 2-tone dash out behind the barn. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. With a 9-foot grand, a 10-piece band, and a 12-girl chorus line. I'd raise some boot in a 3-piece suit, give 'em one dance for a dime. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. He said, friend, it expect it, I'm told to know. Devil made me do it, talked me into it, that was all she wrote. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. With a 9-foot ring, a 10-piece band, and a 12-girl chorus line. I'd raise some dude in a 3-piece suit, give him one dance for a dime. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. They say debt is a bottomless pit where the devil likes to play. I'd sell my soul to get out of this hole, but there'd be hell to pay. He'd have a ball in mine. With a 9-foot ring, a 10-piece band, and a 12-girl chorus line. I'd raise some loot in a 3-piece suit, give him one dance for a dime. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine. If the devil danced in empty pockets, he'd have a ball in mine.
You're watching Shopping at Home with Basic. This area's full-service, low-cost connection to the best values in home appliances, electronics, computers, and home furnishings. To place your order, simply call toll-free 1-800-388-2411. Our helpful people will take your order and schedule delivery.
Basic, your best buy. May I take your order, please?
You may use Basic Charge, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express. You may also pay at time of delivery with your personal check. Call now.
Basics Home Shopping Show, and we have got a very important segment for you right now, especially if you're interested in a satellite system. Stan Sutton, it's great to have you in from Bastrop, and I am so happy you're back to talk about these satellite systems, but what do you call these systems?
Direct television systems, Wayne. We like to call them basic home cable type systems. But what we're going to feature today is the 400 series and the 600 series system. This particular system, or this antenna that you see back here, is a 5-foot dish. It comes with the 400 series receiver, completely installed in your home. Receive 23 channels from day one. It's locked in on the Galaxy 5 satellite. It's a stationary system for $1,488. Hundreds less than our competition. Also, there's a dish that looks just like this one. It's a little bit larger. It's called the 600 series EchoStar system. Now, completely installed from the time we get to your home, from the time that we leave, we're looking at 2.5 hours. When we install it, from day one, you can feasibly get over 300 programs on that particular system.
And this is only $2,288, is that right?
$59.35 a month on the basic charge.
And how many channels can you get from
You
that?
can get over 300 programs from day one.
And that is, you install it, you leave, and without buying the first paper channel, you've got 300 channels.
Here's what would happen if an individual were to come in and buy this particular system. If they didn't buy any or purchase any programming whatsoever, they're going to get 40, 50 or so channels at no charge.
Okay.
And then one of the big advantages to this type system is that you're able to handpick the programming that you like. For example, if you like Discovery Channel or Country Music Television or HBO, you can handpick just what you're looking for. You don't have to buy any more or any less. And from the time you place your order, let's say if you called in for HBO, you can typically have it in about 3 minutes. That's how fast it will come to you.
And that's on both systems, the 1488 system or the 2288
Absolutely.
system. What is the main difference between the 1488 and the 2288 system?
Wayne, the big difference is that the more expensive 600 system is a little bit more money, but it's going to open up the world of home entertainment for you. What it is able to do is track from satellite to satellite. We got 20 some odd satellites up there, and each satellite has what they call 24 transponders or 24 channels. And so that will open up, for example, if you ordered HBO, you would get the 5 HBOs. You've got different time zones there, but if you're looking at HBO and you see a particular movie that you've already seen, flip to the other HBO. You can check them all 5 out.
Boy, that is having control over your life, really. But to be able to watch the different movies, because I know so many times I come home at the same time every night, and it's that same movie on, and I say, I don't want to watch this one again.
Certainly. And something I'd like to just talk a little bit about, Basics Club Source pricing on our programming, and I'm just going to mention a few. Country music television. On this system comes in digital stereo sound. That is the purest sound quality you can get. It would be like CD quality sound. It's $4.45 a year for country music television, which is 37 cents a month. The family channel, $6.45 a year, which is just 54 cents a month. And that'll give you an idea of how reasonable the pricing is.
Now, for $2,288, what is included in that system?
You'll get complete installation. We will come to your home, get the dish assembled. We will put all the feed horn, the LNB, and what have you in this nose cone for you. We will come inside the home, set the system up, tie it into your television or your stereo system. We will run a trench, lay the wire, bury it, and when we get through it, it's a very, very professional job. And like I say, it takes about 2.5 hours. But when we leave, you've got the best home entertainment there is.
Before we go on this segment, what is this little contraption right here?
Wayne, this is the video cipher board, and this is the device that enables you to purchase this programming that I just talked about.
So you have to have this. It's like a credit card that fits into this slot and it installs in the back of your receiver.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And one nice thing about having this system, it comes with this board, but let's just say one night you're sitting around and you would like to rent you a movie. There's 2 ways to go about renting that movie. The phone line runs directly into this little slot here, and what you're able to do is buy the movie through your remote control. If you do not wish to do that or have a phone line tied into it, simply pick your telephone up, call the toll-free number, and the movie will be sent down to you.
So that is great. Now, when do you get that credit card type?
Wayne, this board is designed for the future. This is called a security card. This is something that will be coming out, we would say, in the next 12 months or so. But it's designed to keep $59.35 a month on the basic charge. We've also got the 400 series system, which is the stationary system locked in on the Galaxy 5 satellite. It's a 23-channel system for $1,488.
And that's all right here at Basic. Call us if you have any questions at 1-800-388-2411, locally at 388-2411. They'd love to answer any of your questions you have on direct television or satellite systems right here at Basics Home Shopping Show. Now, let's take it back to Steve.
Stan, Wayne, that was a super demonstration on those products. We're back again with Mr. Hoss Logan, and again, in case you missed the first portion of the program, Hoss is the one that originally started the Louisiana Hayride and was instrumental in many, many great artists getting started, like Jim Reeves, Hank Williams, Elvis Presley, Kitty Wells, many, many more. Hoss, tell us a little bit about breaking into the business. Now, you've heard Shelby sing, and quite frankly, I thought he's pretty dadgum good. What do you think?
He is. But let me tell you how Jim Reeves did it.
Okay, tell us.
Jim Reeves was working at a small radio station in Henderson, Texas, and I was program director of KWKH in Shreveport, and Jim applied for a job as an announcer. And eventually I hired him, put him on the station as a full-time announcer, and then put him on the Louisiana Hayride as one of the MCs. And when there was time, which was very, very rarely, he would do a song. And he watched the other artists and realized that every artist on that show that was really attracting national attention had a distinctive originality of his own. And Jim started developing his originality. When he first joined the show, he was singing in a rather high-pitched voice, in ordinary manner, but he gradually started lowering his voice, because the lower you make your voice, the deeper you can get right on down there. But you usually do that by becoming softer in volume.
Yeah.
And Jim started letting the microphone do the work, and he gradually evolved and developed that incredibly, fantastically, unbelievably smooth style that was distinctively him.
Hoss, he was about as smooth as they get.
Smooth as they get.
I'm telling you, you know what, they still play his music on radio stations today, as well as Hank Williams and Elvis Presley and all those people that you helped get started in the business. Give Shelby some advice. He's trying to get started in the business. What would you recommend?
Well, I would recommend working as many of these shows as you can and watching the audience reaction, because the audience is the one that has to buy the records and buy the tapes and so forth. They must like it or they're not going to buy it. So let them pick what you do. Make a list, a sing list or don't sing list. And if you do a song and they don't react favorably to it particularly, we'll drop it. But if they react favorably, put it on your sing list. And pretty soon, you know in advance that your audience is going to like what you're doing because they've already pre-approved all of it. So it's basically that simple. Let the audience hear what you're going to do and let them more or less select what you're going to do. That means you've got to work live shows, but I understand you are working quite a few of them.
Oh yeah, I'm doing quite a few. Dixie Jamboree in Ruston and the VFW halls and places around Monroe.
Well, that's the way to get experience.
Shelby, are they getting some pretty good turnouts at the local jamborees and shows and such as that?
It varies anywhere from 75 to 150 people usually.
Real country music lovers over there, huh?
They love the dance numbers especially.
Well, Shelby, I tell you what, I think Hoss has given you some real good advice, and we know we're talking to somebody that has certainly been down that long, hard road. And you know, I think country music, Hoss, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this or not, but it's a business.
It is definitely a big business.
And Shelby, I think you got a tremendous shot at it. And of course, I'm going by what our Mr. Logan tells us here, but
my personality has it looks.
Yeah, he really does. He's a really sharp-looking guy. Shelby, we're going to have you back on our show. Now, Hoss, I'm fixing to put you on the spot.
Wait a minute, I want to tell you how many we used to draw at the old hayride.
How many did you draw at the hayride?
10 years, 52 times a year, we averaged 3,300 every Saturday night.
That is unbelievable, Hoss.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
Well, Hoss, you know, country music faded out a few years ago, and it has now come back, and it is the hottest format on radio stations today.
Not only in the United States, but in Europe. I just came back from France, and country is #1 over there.
I tell you, it's good, clean music most of the time. It's fun to listen to.
Right.
Hoss, I told you I was going to put you on the spot. You wrote a ballad.
Yep.
Back several years ago. As a matter of fact, how long ago did you write that ballad, Hoss?
It was quite a few years. It's when Lon Green had the Ringo recitation popular.
Yeah. And the name of your recitation or ballad, I guess recitation is what we call it, is Trooper John.
Right.
Are you going to do Trooper John for us before the show's over
tonight?
tonight?
Have some chorus music back of it and some backup and some video, but I'll do it just straight if you want it.
Hoss, give it to me straight. That's the way I want it.
All right.
We'll be back in just a minute with more.
Basics Home Shopping Show, and I'd like to tell you about this Sony SPP57 cordless telephone. This has 2-channel transmission, auto security code system, out-of-range alert, extended 7-day standby, touch-to-talk, paging. The list goes on and on about this Sony SPP57 cordless telephone. It's yours for only $69 right here at Basics Home Shopping Show. Call us at 1-800-388-2411 or locally at 388-2411, or stop by one of the convenient locations of Basics and get one of these Sony SPP57s. Well, we're going to give one of these SPP57 cordless telephones by Sony away. Let's shake it up real good in here. And the winner is Brenda Bryant, 328 West Walnut, number 18 in Bastrop. A lot of Bastrop winners today. If you haven't gotten that check in, do it. You may be a winner next time on Basics Home Shopping Show.
Welcome back, folks. You're watching Basics Home Shopping Show. I want to show you something that's absolutely phenomenal. Now, I've preheated this pan, but I want to show you, and if we're real quiet, maybe we can listen and hear that ham sizzling? And take an egg. You know, in an ordinary microwave, you cannot fry an egg. We're going to try it in this one, just to see how it works. This is the new Crisp Wave by Whirlpool, the new Crisp Wave microwave, and what you're looking at is what's called the Crisp Wave pan. It has a ferrous material rubberized on the bottom, and I preheated this pan. You notice that egg is beginning to cook already, but I preheated the pan up to 410 degrees before we ever went on the air. I'm going to turn the grill on now and just finish cooking it for a couple minutes. And while it's cooking, I want to tell you about it. A new Crisp Wave by Whirlpool. It's only $348, folks, only $12 a month as an add-on to that basic charge card. Folks, you're looking at a microwave that not only bakes, it grills, it fries, and much more. You can do anything in this microwave than you can do in your oven at home. Just a tremendous way to save energy, to keep from heating that kitchen up, from turning that cooktop on. I see a potential here for college students, for single parents, or for working parents that work outside the home, that very busy lifestyle on a day-by-day basis. Just an easy way to cut down on cooking time, etc. I love my eggs sunny side up, and that's exactly the way it is, just cooked to perfection. Folks, what I did before we went on camera is I preheated the pan. This pan absorbs microwave energy. See that egg? So I preheated it for a couple of minutes, and all that did is got the pan extremely hot. That Canadian bacon is fried very crisp. The egg is, as you can see, sunny side up with one of the biscuits that I baked in there. Wouldn't that make a nice breakfast? Isn't that pretty? Have you ever seen that type of food come out of a microwave? Well, I haven't either, but the new Crisp Wave by Whirlpool, just a phenomenal new product that bakes, it grills, and it fries. Let me just tell you a little bit about how it works. As far as the microwaves, it's a patented system. It's called the dual wave. The waves fire from both sides, and what that means is when the waves come out, they meet in the middle and they make one large wave that goes all the way across. And what that does, it gives you more even cooking. There are no hot spots, no cold spots with
We got something very special for you tonight. Mr. Hoss Logan and the Ballad of Trooper John.
Trooper John, we called him. Never knowed his full name. Out of the South, they say, riding in across the plain. Joining up with the Union to fight the Sioux. You could tell it galled him to wear the blue. I was an orphan recruit, just turned 18, being ragged by the troops because I was plum green. He looked at the men at Devlin and me and said real soft like, "Leave him be." He began to learn me right then and there, said it'd be a shame for the Sioux to take my hair. We'd stand roll call and muster side by side. Trooper John, they'd call. I'd bust with pride. "Here, sir," he'd answer. His voice would roll across the parade ground, strong and bold. He never said nothing about his home, but sometimes he'd call me son when we was alone. And his eyes would get bleak and his face grim. I knowed I wasn't the first to learn from him. We went on a scouting patrol, just we two, and like a raw recruit, I blundered into the Sioux. They shot the horse from under me clean, and John was among them like a fighting machine. Saber slashing right and to the left. 6-gun barking the song of death. The Sioux gave way and he spun to me then, pulled me to the saddle in front of him, sunk spurs, and for the fort we raced, with the Sioux close behind at a blistering pace. The arrow went home, and I knew then why he had me riding in front of him. His broad back shielding me from harm, around me the strength of his arms. We made it to the fort, the safety within. They lifted him from the saddle and then pulled the arrow from his back and laid him on the ground. He opened his eyes and slowly looked around. They lit up when they fell on me. He grinned. "Still got your hair, I see." I dropped to the sand, tears on my cheeks, when suddenly he seemed to hear someone speak. With a terrible effort, he raised his head. "Here, sir," he answered, and fell back dead. Somewhere out there he's waiting, out beyond the sun. And I'll be going to meet him when my enlistment's done. He'll shake my hand and slap my back, and maybe shed a tear. "Been a long time waiting, boy. Glad to have you here." Once again, I'll be learning from my friend Trooper John. And if I'm really lucky, maybe he'll call me son.
You're watching Shopping at Home with Basic. This area's full-service, low-cost connection to the best values in home appliances, electronics, computers, and home furnishings. To place your order, simply call toll-free 1-800-388-2411. Our helpful people will take your order and schedule delivery.
Basic, your best buy. May I take your order, please?
You may use Basic Charge, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express. You may also pay at time of delivery with your personal check. Call now. That's about all the time we've got for tonight's show. We've got a couple of minutes to wrap it up and introduce everybody one more time. Roger, you did a fantastic job on those demonstrations, but not only that, you just got back from Australia. How'd you enjoy your trip?
I loved it, Steve. If you like to fly, let me just tell you this. It's 14 hours from Los Angeles non-stop to Sydney. By the time you get there, Steve, you don't care where you are. You just want off that plane. But it was a fantastic trip. Got away for about 10 days, relaxed, kind of let my head clear. Thoroughly had a great time. People there are super friendly. They love Americans, by the way.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're so glad you're back.
Well, I'm glad to be back. I really am. Excited last night, could barely sleep. Prime time at Fox. This is something we've been working for now for the past 30 shows. Come a long way, Steve.
I tell you what, we really have, and of course, it's a lot of it's been due to the professional sitting right there beside you, Mr. Wayne.
That's correct.
Wayne always does a fantastic job for us. Wayne, thank you. You did a super job tonight, and you gave away some gifts, and I bet you people had fun.
I bet so. I'm having all the fun giving away all the gifts. Well, you see, we got the flyer to check us out sweepstakes from Fox 14. You've got the check in there. You be sure to fill it out. We've gotten in over almost 700 already, and you don't want to be left out. You see, we give the prizes away. Don't forget, call our 1-800 number at 1-800-388-2411 or locally at 388-2411, and check out those cordless phones, the caller IDs, or stop by any one of the fine basics. You be sure to fill out that check and send it in because we want them to be a winner also.
Absolutely.
Can't win if they don't send it in.
I got to put in one more little plug in our right before we close, and that is our computer department.
That's right.
Our upgrade in our computer department. We have the finest computer department I think that I have ever seen. But enough of selling, because we've got Mr. Hoss Logan here. Hoss, thank you so much for being on our show. It was an absolute pleasure to have you.
Enjoyed it.
And will you please come back again and do something else?
On one condition.
What's that condition?
I would soon have out the history of the Louisiana Hayride, and when it's published, I'd like to come back again. We'll talk about it.
Hoss, we wouldn't have it any other way.
Good.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. We've certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. We'll be back next week again with Basics Home Shopping Show.